Welcome, dear listeners, to another episode of Philosophies for Life. I'm your host, and I'm thrilled to be here with you today, diving into the timeless wisdom that shapes our journey toward a more meaningful, fulfilling existence. Today, we're stepping into a profound story from the life and teachings of Gautama Buddha, a tale of a young prince, a wise female monk, and a transformative lesson in mindfulness and self-awareness. This story isn't just a relic of ancient times, it's a mirror for our own lives, reflecting how we can confront our inner struggles, awaken to our true selves, and live with clarity and peace. So, grab a cozy spot, maybe a warm cup of tea, and let's embark on this journey together. Let's begin with the essence of this beautiful story. A young prince, eager to learn the path of enlightenment, approaches the Buddha to become his disciple. On just the second day of his journey, the Buddha sends him to seek alms at the home of a female monk, a Shravaka. As the prince walks toward her home, his mind is flooded with doubts and attachments to his past life of luxury. He wonders about the lavish meals he'll no longer enjoy, the comforts of rest he'll miss, and the royal life he's left behind. Yet, at every turn, the Shravaka seems to know exactly what he's thinking. When he longs for his favorite meal, it's served to him. When he craves rest, she offers it. And when he feels the weight of loneliness, she reminds him, Bhante, there is no greater shelter than the Buddha, no greater bed than the earth, and no greater roof than the sky. But the story takes a deeper turn. Shocked that she can read his thoughts, the prince learns that through deep mindfulness, she has transcended her own thoughts and can now perceive the minds of others. This revelation terrifies him, especially when he admits to the Buddha that impure thoughts arose in his mind upon seeing her beauty. Ashamed, he begs not to return. Yet the Buddha insists, you must go back. This is your practice. Go with awareness. Observe your thoughts, but do not fight them. Simply witness them. Over time, as the prince returns daily with heightened awareness, his mind calms, his desires fade, and he experiences a profound inner stillness. The Buddha then tells him, live as if everyone can read your thoughts. Stay awake, and as your awareness grows, thoughts and desires will dissolve. That is the awakening of discernment. Let me share a poignant reflection from this story that resonates deeply. The Shravaka's words, there is no greater shelter than the Buddha, no greater bed than the earth, and no greater roof than the sky, reminds us of a universal truth. We often cling to material comforts, believing they define our security. But true peace lies in embracing life as it is, finding shelter in wisdom, stability in the present moment, and vastness in our connection to the universe. Another powerful teaching comes from the Buddha himself. Live as if everyone can read your thoughts. Imagine that for a moment. If every thought in your mind was visible to the world, how would you think? How would you act? This isn't about fear or shame. It's an invitation to cultivate purity, honesty, and mindfulness in every moment. Let's unpack the philosophical depth here. This story touches on the Buddhist concept of vipassana, insight meditation, the practice of observing the mind without attachment or aversion. The prince's journey mirrors our own inner battles. How often do we find ourselves caught in a storm of thoughts, regrets about the past, worries about the future, or fleeting desires that pull us away from the present? The Shravaka's ability to read thoughts isn't just a mystical power, it symbolizes the clarity that comes when we empty our minds of clutter. When we stop over-identifying with our thoughts, we create space to see reality as it is, unfiltered by judgment or desire. This aligns with broader spiritual teachings across traditions, whether it's the Stoic idea of mastering your inner world or the yogic principle of dhyana, deep meditation. It's about returning to the now, where true peace resides. This story also speaks to emotional well-being. The prince's shame over his impure thoughts reflects a universal human struggle. How do we deal with the parts of ourselves we'd rather hide? The Buddha's response is revolutionary. Don't suppress, don't fight, just observe. This is a powerful lesson in self-compassion. When we stop waging war against our own minds, we begin to heal. And in relationships, imagine the transformation if we lived with the awareness that our thoughts shape our energy. If we believed others could sense our intentions, wouldn't we strive to think with kindness, to act with integrity? Now let's get practical. How can we apply this ancient wisdom to our modern lives? First, let's adopt the mindset the Buddha prescribed. Live as if your thoughts are visible. Next time you're frustrated with a colleague or tempted to judge someone, pause and ask, what if they could read my mind right now? This simple shift can help you cultivate more positive, constructive thoughts. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Over time, you'll notice your mind becoming less reactive, more centered. Second, practice mindful observation. Set aside 5 minutes each day to sit quietly and watch your thoughts. Don't label them as good or bad, just notice them, like clouds passing in the sky. I remember when I first tried this, my mind was a chaotic mess. Worries about bills, random memories, even what I'd eat for dinner. But slowly, with practice, the chatter quieted. It's like cleaning a dusty mirror. The more you polish it with awareness, the clearer your reflection becomes. This practice can transform how you handle stress, conflict, even mundane tasks. Washing dishes, notice the warmth of the water. Driving in traffic, observe your breath. It's in these small moments that mindfulness takes root. Third, let's embrace discomfort as a teacher, just as the prince did by returning to the Shravaka's home. Is there a situation you're avoiding because it makes you uneasy? Maybe a tough conversation or a personal fear? Face it with awareness. Journal about what thoughts arise, what emotions surface. You'll find that discomfort often hides the greatest lessons. I once had to apologize to a friend after a misunderstanding, and I dreaded it. But as I approached the conversation with honesty and presence, I felt lighter, not heavier. Growth lives on the other side of fear. As we wrap up, let's reflect on the heart of this story. The young prince's journey reminds us that true freedom comes not from escaping our thoughts, but from witnessing them with courage and clarity. The Buddhist teaching to live as if everyone can read your thoughts is a call to integrity, mindfulness, and self-awareness. It's a reminder that our inner world shapes our outer reality. So, my dear friends, I invite you to take a moment today, right now even, to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what thoughts am I carrying? Are they serving me? And how can I witness them with kindness? Let this story be a spark for your own awakening. Carry this awareness into your day, whether you're at work, with loved ones, or simply with yourself. Remember, every step taken in mindfulness brings you closer to peace. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Philosophies for Life. Until next time, stay curious, stay awake, and keep walking your path with heart.